Welcome back to another week of Eye of the Storm, a Guelph Storm podcast with myself, Ryan Drury, the voice of your Guelph Storm on Rogers TV. And we're almost at the end of the regular season. It's incredible. We've come this far, and figured we would round out our conversations with the overage crew this year. And who better to round it out with than a kid who is a Guelph native and is a career Stormer, Jake Karabela. Jake, how are you, man?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm excited to be on here.
When I say that to you, as we sit here and chat, you've got 4 regular season games left. Does it feel like time is blown by? Can you believe that you're almost done your OHL career? I mean, how does it feel?
Yeah. Everybody always says it, when I was 16 coming to the league, just saying like, hey, enjoy it. It goes by fast. And, you always shrug it off. You're like, what are you talking about? These are the best years of my life. And you don't really, you take it day by day. But, yeah, like you said, 4 games left. It's pretty incredible. But, at the same time, it's something you'll look back on and you wouldn't change a thing.
Outside of maybe telling yourself to enjoy it, obviously, because yeah, it feels like time's flown by. I remember your rookie year. It was my rookie year on the broadcast. So we kind of grew up in different ways together inside the Sleeman Center for different reasons. If you could look back and talk to your 16-year-old self stepping into the league, what would you maybe tell 16-year-old Jake Karabela?
Outside of just enjoy it, I would say just if you can master the ability to be consistent, I think that's one thing that I think if you can take away when you're 16 years old is show up every day, be consistent every day, and that might not be getting points consistently, but I think it's just showing up, doing the right things every day, and making an impact every day. I also think hockey's a small world. Obviously, there's a ton of people that play, and there's a ton of people that are involved in it, but I think it is a really truly small world, and I think that first impressions can go a long way, and if you make the right connections, it can help you along the way.
That's good advice for sure. And it absolutely is a small world. And you talk about being consistent. I mean, in terms of being a very useful 200-foot player, a guy that, you can put you in there and win a big face off. You've been great in the dot really your whole career. You're consistently one of the best face off guys in the league. You've put up points. I mean, you had a great year last year with 25 goals. You've unfortunately had a couple of injury, issues this year, which is never fun to see, especially for an overager. But when you look back on your career, I mean, I think you can be very proud of the consistent nature in which you've been able to play. I mean, when did that start to develop for you? Because you kind of carried it in right as a rookie. You were immediately killing penalties. You were getting power play time. Like when did that part of your game kind of come to the forefront?
I think just like you said, I think that COVID year, which was supposed to be my rookie year, maybe I wouldn't have played as much, and I wouldn't have got that big of an opportunity. But I think in a way that COVID year kind of helped me. It sounds strange, but I think it's my rookie year with George as the coach, and was fortunate enough to have a great relationship with him, and still do. And he trusted me in all aspects of the game. I think it just gave me confidence to go out there and play and learn from it, and ultimately just take it all in.
When you look back on, what's going to amount to 4 great years, and you consider that it's a unique experience for anybody just to be able to play in the Ontario Hockey League, but you're a rare guy in the case that you've been able to experience it playing in your hometown for your hometown team. With just 4 games left ahead of you, and you're going to round it out with the regular season finale at home against the Kitchener Rangers. You and your 2 overagers with you, Ryan McGuire and Max Domestikov, are going to be celebrated, of course. What does it mean to you to not only have played this long in the Ontario Hockey League, it's the best junior league in the world, but B, be able to do the whole thing at home with your hometown club? That's very unique.
Yeah, no, I think any kid growing up, I think who's in Ontario or close to Ontario, I think knows what the OHL is, and obviously that's as a young hockey player, you want to get to that point. You grow up watching them, whether that is your hometown or not. I think you go to a couple of games regardless. But yeah, I'm very fortunate to have played in the Ontario Hockey League 4 years, like you said, and then on top of that, play for my hometown team. I think was pretty cool. And like you said, growing up watching everybody and all that stuff, and wanting to be those guys and see what that lifestyle is like. But I think also just you mentioned it, 4 years in the same place. I think you don't really see that too often. And me and Migsy McGuire there, we were fortunate enough to stay here all 4 years, and I think that's something we're pretty proud of to say. And We've learned a lot through the 4 years, and I think we built a lot in the 4 years. So no, it's awesome, and to be able to stay home for those 4 years is pretty nice too. Comfortable in your own bed, and you have a bad game, your friends are chirping you a little bit more because they watch or whatever. But no, I think it was the best case scenario for me.
It's certainly been a unique one for sure. And I know mom and dad have really enjoyed it too, because unique experience for them too, right? Being able to have you at home. You mentioned Migsy, obviously Ryan McGuire. He was on here recently. Same with Max. And generally on any OHL team, when you have the overagers, they tend to be a really tight knit nucleus, a tight knit group. They're the old guys. They know what's going on and are kind of making up the leadership core of the team. When you look at those two other dudes and the relationship you've been able to have with them, how special has that been enjoying this time with them?
Yeah, no, I think I'll touch on Migsy first. Just entering the league with Migsy at the same time. I think obviously Max was with Sarnia to start, but I think just coming to the league with McGuire, and it's funny. I grew up playing against him my whole life. He was over in Burlington, and I was in Guelph, and hated playing against him, and wanted nothing to do with him on the ice. And then, sure enough, get drafted by the same team, and he comes in, and you know, we had a couple good nights in the summer, and ended up being best buddies right from the start. So super happy he came in the league with me. That was awesome, and super happy that he came back. That was a big difference, I think, for our locker room as well. And then Nemo, I mean, Max came in and didn't really know how to deal with him at first. I think he was obviously coming from somewhere different, and maybe the culture was a little bit different there or whatever. But I know he came in, and I think it took a week or two, and now he's feels like I've known him my whole life. So Max is great. Nemo's awesome. He's full of jokes, and definitely gonna miss those guys a lot. Let's just put it that way. Spend every day with each other for the last 3 4 years, and like you said, 4 games left, and you never know what's gonna happen.
For yourself, a veteran guy, I mean, not only are you playing for your hometown team and you're rounding out your career, you just celebrated your 21st birthday. When you got named to the leadership core of this team under Corey Stillman, that had to have been a big honor for you as well to have a letter on.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think growing up in minor hockey, especially, typically just goes to the best player, right? And I think that's the way it is, and I think that's not exactly how it's perceived as. I think many guys can lead in different ways. Don't always have to have a letter, but obviously wearing one is pretty special, and being able to do it in my hometown in front of fans and family and friends is definitely special.
Leading up to that, especially in your younger days, your first couple seasons on the team, you were around a lot of great leaders that, helped bring you along when you were a young guy. Who are some guys that you think back on that helped you turn into the leader that you've become, Jake?
I think going back to my rookie year, Danil Chayka, he was awesome. He was super nice, big, tall Russian. You're a little bit nervous going in to meet him, talk to him, stuff like that. As a heavy accent, but as a rookie, he was awesome to me. He was great. He was awesome to all of us, actually. To be honest, he'd have a conversation with us, share stuff with us, and him just being that calm presence, and just willing to speak to anyone. And if you had any questions, you could ask him, stuff like that too. And then I'd go back and say, Ben McFarland and Cooper Walker were great. They were awesome, like great, just great locker room guys. They always put the work boots on. They always went out there every day, and they did stuff nobody else wants to do. So I think those guys really meant a lot to me. And then even last year, Bonesy, we kind of entered the league at the same time, and he's a guy that I don't think anybody loves hockey more than him. I think he just loves the game of hockey, and I think he was the perfect guy for that. He was awesome.
Well, I would certainly say the same about you, and yeah, Bonesy. I'm still close with that dude. Great guy, and the fans always really loved him, and all those guys you mentioned, and you're in there too. And when you think back to, you've grown up in this organization, you've been able to play at home. Now as the older guy that everybody on the team that's younger kind of looks up to, and you guys are the youngest team in the league. Like, what's that been like for you with this new crop of young guys being the guy that everybody turns to?
Yeah, it's definitely a little weird. Definitely took me a little bit of getting used to that. It's kind of like when you get a job, and you show up at the job and you can ask questions, and if you're not sure about doing something, and then next thing you know, everybody leaves and you're the last guy there, and now people are coming to you asking questions. So no, I think it's been awesome. It's been great. Our rookies are terrific. They're awesome. They're hilarious. Carter Stevens is awesome. He's a great character, great guy. I think he's going to be a sick player. McLean, great kid, awesome. Like these guys are awesome, and they're just. I've always tried to be welcoming to everyone. I think that's important, especially when you're 16, 17. You, especially not being in my situation where you have to live away from home. I think that can be tough too sometimes. So I think those guys being away from home and maybe having a guy to turn to or ask questions or just joke around with, and maybe it's a little bit scary with the 21-year-old, 20-year-old kind of saying something to you on the bench or something, or in the room, or maybe making fun of you. But I've always tried to be welcoming and talk to everyone and give everyone an equal chance of everything. So for me, it's just trying to put them in the right direction. They have all the tools. They know how to play hockey. I'm never going to tell them not to play hockey. I think it's just more about the daily life, what you do off the ice, what you do with your spare time. So stuff like that, just trying to put them in the right direction and trying to be the best teammate I can.
You come up a lot when I talk to your teammates about, great locker room guys and guys that are glue guys, which I think is important in any sports locker room. And, obviously everybody to a man says how much they love the city and going out together and spending time off this. You guys have always struck me as a very tight knit group. And, you've kind of had to be in a unique position too, or you almost got to play tour guide in Guelph because who knows the city better than you? So I'll ask you, as you're approaching the end of your OHL career here, what are some of your favorite spots to go to in Guelph, or guys, or places that you like to bring the new guys?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I mean, as a kid, like I didn't really go out much. I'd say like I wouldn't be around downtown very often unless it was to a game or something like that. So I was like from being from golf, obviously golf and certain places stuff like that. But I think even just being part of the Storm opened up parts of golf that I may not have like really known or taken advantage of. Right. So I think for sure Z Tech is a big one. Just awesome food, so good, love it. I think it's better than Chipotle if I'm being honest. Gonna miss that for sure. I think the real deal, like just going to play pool or something like that with the guys, just shooting some pool. Even like golf sims, going up to golf sims, stuff like that with the guys, like seeing who can play for a couple bucks here or there, see what's going on. But no, I think all the guys, like the cool part is too, is, them being away from home and them being young is as much as they love the billet families are great too. Like they do want to get away sometimes. They want to get out of the house. You know what I mean? They want to have meals with the boys that they spend time with every day. So I think just being able to go out to restaurants and as a team and as a group, like you said, we're close knit. Like it's not like we're separated in groups. It's if we're going, everyone's going. You know what I mean? So it's really good that way. And yeah, it's been awesome, kind of learning new places and checking out downtown a little bit more than I probably would have. So it was fun.
I want to touch on, I'm glad you brought it up because now I don't feel bad about asking about it. I want to touch on the golf sim. I've heard that you can really drive a golf ball. Confirm or deny?
I wouldn't say drive the golf ball. I think that's not me. I wish I could.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I got a little bit of a slice in my drive. So I'm more of
Okay.
a I'll tee up my 4 iron or 3 iron and I'll put a 200 in the middle. But I'm not a big driver guy. I got to work on that for sure. But I'm more of a short game guy. I'll tell you that.
Who's the big driver on the team?
Charlie can really whip the ball.
I'm not
Um,
surprised by that.
yeah, he can pound the ball. It's actually really impressive, and he puts it straight too. I wish I had that from his game. I play a lot with Topper. Topper and I go out a lot to the golf sim, so Topper can pound the ball too, pretty good. But no, I'd say those are the two top guys. Macker, when he gets a hold of it, might not always get a hold of it, but when he gets a hold of it, it's going far. And then Luch is a good golfer too.
That doesn't surprise me either. Yeah, he seems like a skilled golfer for
Yeah,
sure. He's got the hands.
yeah.
Um, I also want to ask you. I've talked to a few of the guys, particularly older guys. Migsy and Charlie Paquette were really engaged when I asked them this. This bus euchre tournament thing. Where do you sit in the hierarchy here? I haven't heard your name come up often. Are they underselling your skill?
I mean, I'd say the first couple years of my career, I kind of like to just put my earphones in or my earbuds in and kind of tune out and get prepared for the game. That was just the way I was. And then I'd say this year and last year I got more involved in the euchre table and now we play Hearts too. I don't know if you ever heard of the game Hearts, but
Oh yeah.
yeah, Hearts is a great game. We've been playing that one for a while now. This year, it just came up this year, but we've been grinding that for oh my gosh, like I think the one trip they were playing for 13 hours straight or something like that on the way up to Sioux and back down to Sag. Like it was crazy. But no, like I'd say I'm a good player. I wouldn't put myself like top tier. I think Miggsy's solidified himself as that. To be honest, I think he cheats. I think he reneges a lot. He's
Ah,
a little bit of a scumbag, I'd say. Sometimes he's not going to like that, but I think he does. Um, but no, I'd say I'm right up there. Definitely don't have as much experience as them playing because I like to tune out. But yeah, I'll play on the tables.
and I want firm confirmation here as well. I'm sure that because you're a local guy, you've also had to host some of these nights. And Ryan McGuire remains staunchly defendant that he's the best shell player on the team. Charlie Paquette has some words about that. I've heard some other guys put their names in the hat this year too. Tell me, is your buddy Miggsy the best, or is he pulling my leg there too?
No, I think Miggs has got that too. I think
Oh,
he's got the
okay.
crown. He's being honest there. I think he
Yep.
just plays more than everybody else. Like I think he goes home and he practices. I don't know, but when I was younger, I was really good, and then kind of got away from it for a little bit. But no, I think Miggs has got it. I think I'm better than Charlie though. If I'm being honest, I don't think there's anything special about Charlie on the sticks. But
Wow. Okay.
Miggsy's got it for sure.
Charlie said to me on the show, it's recorded for everybody to see. He maintains that I'm pretty sure the exact quote he said was the guys are going to tell you I'm bad, but I'm
Yeah.
way better than they give me credit for.
No, he's not bad. I shouldn't say he's bad. He's not as good as he says he is. He thinks he's
Okay.
better than what he is, if that makes sense. He hypes himself up too much.
That's fine. He doesn't know what his game actually is. That's okay. I want to ask you as well just about obviously you kind of touched on it there. There's some long road trips. Obviously, there's a bunch of different places you guys get to go throughout the Ontario Hockey League. As you kind of look back, have you ever considered maybe what some of your favorite road barns are to visit?
Yeah, I mean, I always like playing in Sioux. I love that rink. I think the ice is always great. It's always nice and hard and cold. So I love playing there, and it's kind of the same setup as Steven Center. Actually, like it looks kind of the same. So that's a good feel. But no, I'd say Sioux's up there for sure. I like Sarnia's rink. Same thing. Kind of looks like the Steven Center, just a little bit dark. You could brighten it up a little bit. I always loved playing in the Odd. The Odd was great. I always had good games there when I was younger, and the Prospects game was a great time there as well. Um, Not a fan of Sudbury's. Did not like Sudbury's. Did not like North Bay's. I didn't like that road trip. I like the road tripping with the guys, but I hated going up there to play. Um, but no, I think Sioux, Kitch, Sarnia, and I don't mind Saginaw. I actually like Saginaw's rink. I like playing in Saginaw.
I've heard their rink's nice. Yeah, it's one
Yeah,
of the
I
few
like
I
playing in
haven't
Saginaw.
been to. The Dort. Yeah, it looks good on TV for sure. Well, let's talk about your home rink where you've spent 4 great seasons now. And, obviously we've touched a lot on how special it's been for you to be a hometown kid, be on the team. What's it been like for you as you reflect back now on the fan base and being able to play for this franchise? I mean, even this year, despite the team having some struggles, like the fans have been fantastic, and I'm sure that that's going to be something that you'll sorely miss about your OHL time.
Yeah, I think coming in, obviously growing up watching games, you always think like there's so many people in the stands. I mean, you might not know because you're in the stands, but I think just my rookie year with COVID was kind of weird having nobody. Didn't really have that feel of like what an OHL atmosphere was like. And then I think once that all got lifted, the Sleeman Center really opened up and was like, holy crap! Like we did so well. Like we would have 4,800, 4,600 fans every night, regardless of how we were doing, and it was awesome. Like it's just probably the best atmosphere I could play in the OHL. If I'm being honest, like you always think of like the Odd has can fit more people or London can fit more people, but I feel like the Sleeman Center is just we fill it and it's loud and it's just like they're so involved and it gets you going and it's just like it gives you an extra boost for sure. But yeah, like you said, this year obviously not having the best year or going very far or anything like that, but almost like we don't deserve to have how many we've had, but they've been awesome. They've showed out this year, and I'm glad they have. They showed our 16-year-olds what it's like to play in Guelph, and it's been amazing. Couldn't thank them enough, and definitely gets me up on games. On game days, excited to play.
Yeah, the Royal City, man, they love their Storm and they continue to show it. As you're maybe starting to look forward a little bit? Obviously, you were drafted by the Washington Capitals. You get to go to some camps. I know last summer you get to go to Dallas's camp. What are you looking at, as your next chapter? Because I know you're going to have a lot of different roads open to you. Obviously, the NCAA rules have changed. What's next ideally for Jake Karabela?
Yeah, I mean, obviously the end goal is to play in the NHL and play pro and make a living out of that. I think that won't ever change. I think obviously with this NCAA rule, it's an awesome opportunity. I mean, it's like you're starting fresh. You get 4 more years to get where you want to be, and I think it's the best thing that's happened for junior hockey players. I'm not gonna announce it now, but it's gonna be coming out soon. I will be going to NCAA, but I will hold off on telling the team until just before our last game here.
Good stuff, buddy. Well, hey, I congratulations, and I mean, I'm not surprised to hear that, and I know good things are down the road for you because, like I said, I've been around the entire time you've been here, and I've watched how hard you worked, and you referenced obviously that top prospects game, something very special that you got to participate in your draft year, and you had a hell of a night that night at the
Yeah,
Odd. You scored a goal, you had a helper. The goal you scored was the highlight of the night.
yeah.
When you look back on that, that had to have been a very, very special time for you.
Yeah, I know that was awesome. I think if you were to tell my rookie self if I was going to get invited to that game, I would have been stoked. You know what I mean? And I just remember leading up to it the night before. I got like 3 hours of sleep. I couldn't sleep. I was just so I don't know if I was nervous or stressed or excited. I don't know what I was, but 3 hours of sleep and then ended up like you said, probably playing the best game I've ever played in my life. And wish I could, like I said, going back to the consistency part, wishing I could do that every night. You know what I mean? But no, that was a pretty awesome night and a pretty special moment.
It certainly was. And obviously, you're going to have a lot of opportunities to continue to have special moments in your hockey career to the surprise of no one, I would say. And that's going to be fantastic. You've gotten to be around a lot of interesting coaches, interesting people on the bench. George, of course, who coached you in your rookie year and continues to lead the franchise in the front office. You've been able to take a lot of lessons, I'm sure, from those guys. This year in particular, two of your coaches played in the NHL, and I'm sure that that's been a really unique experience for you.
Yeah, no, I think obviously if you want to be coached or you want to be mentored or you want to learn anything, I think why not go with guys that have been there? You know what I mean? I think there's nothing better than experience, nothing better than asking questions, stuff like that. And it's been great. Obviously, 4 years, four different head coaches. It's been a little bit of a ride for me, I'd say, in my OHL career. We had George, Chad, Scott Walker there for a bit, and then Corey. But like I said, lots of guys there to pick their brains and ask questions and see how they use their daily life and their time. But no, I think it's been awesome. I think it's especially good for the younger guys. I mean, Corey, two Stanley Cups. Like, I mean, it doesn't get much better than that. Knows how to win, so just listen up and take notes. But no, and even Davey, like playing a long career, stuff like that, as a mean defenseman. Like, I mean, that part's like, I think for Spada's really looking up to him. I think he's really asking questions and taking that under his wing, and I think that's helped him along the way as well.
Well, Jake, it's been a lot of fun to watch your career, man, and I want to congratulate you. It's not quite over yet, but I've enjoyed watching you develop. I've enjoyed watching you turn into a great leader for this team, and I know the fans feel the same way. Congrats on what's going to be future success for you. And I'll finish up by asking you, what are you going to miss most about being an OHLer, and what's been special for you about being a Guelph Storm?
Um, I think it might be cliche and everybody says it, but it's just you come into the league, you don't know anybody, you have no idea who anybody is. Obviously, I was lucky to stay at home and have that side of comfortability with that. But I think just you spend every single day with these guys, and I think it's crazy how quick you guys can come close and friends. And it's like you look back on it, and it's like, okay, I knew Miggsy for 4 years. It feels like I've known him for 14. You know what I mean? Like it's just you spend every day with these guys, and the end of the season's always tough, saying goodbye to them, maybe not seeing them every day. But I think as you get older and as I've gotten older, you hang out more in the summers now that you know each other better and you go rent a cottage or something, you go up, you have a good time for a weekend or you get away, you come over. So, no, I think it's just the friendships. I think it's you spend every day with each other, you get along. And then those friendships are for a lifetime. Like they really are. I mean, you still hang out with Potsy, you still hang out with Bonesy in the summers, Bushy, stuff like that. You'll always get together, you always make time for each other. So I think that's the part that I'm gonna miss most is just that close bond. But other than that, I think 21 years in Guelph, and it's time to get out and go try something new.
Absolutely, man. Well, congratulations on a great career. It's been a lot of fun to watch you, man. And I appreciate you giving me some time on the show today. It's been a lot of fun to watch your career, brother. Thanks for doing this.
No problem. Thank you.
All right, everybody, remember you can find the show on YouTube, the Guelph Storm website. Come down and catch Jake Karabela and his Guelph Storm teammates. 2 home games left here at the Sleeman Center. Get tickets at the box office at the Sleeman Center, the Guelph Storm website. We'll be back next week with more.